All right. Thank you very much for the call. David?
Yes.
You think that's true? I mean, we hear about crashes of things re-entering, things landing, stories from South America, stories from Mexico where UFOs are so common. In fact, they've had airliner collisions in Mexico.
Right.
I mean, incredible stories. So it may well be that things have come down over the years, not just at Roswell, but all over the world. South Africa, you get stories. Do you think that's true?
Oh, yeah. If somebody's coming to visit this planet, they're not just going to focus on the United States. We're not the center of the world, y'all. They're going to go all over the planet. So it'd be everywhere. And it's possible, in this country we have an open democracy and freedom of information, all that stuff. Other countries, you have military control. So if something goes down over there, it's really easy to cover it up.
I think even here, I'll tell you something. I'll tell you something, David. Out here where I am, Sirius Cactus Country, you know the kind of country it is.
Sure do.
Experimental aircraft go down out here from time to time, and when they do, David, a cordon goes up around the crash site. Nobody gets anywhere near it. They've got guards, they've got vans, special vans, all kinds of stuff, and you don't get anywhere near
and they're
it.
fast.
Man, are they fast.
They can be on a site so fast you can't believe it.
That's right. That's exactly correct. So we're not that different. Democracy, yes, but military control, you betcha. East of the Rockies, you're on the air with David Adair. Hello.
Hi.
Hi.
Art, this is Lauren, and I'm calling you from New Jersey.
Hi, Lauren.
And I'm so happy that you've moved over to WABC. I found you on 1450, which is New Brunswick, New Jersey. And it's a 1,000-watt station, and at night we lose you terribly. I found you again on 1100 from Cleveland, which is a 50,000 station, 50,000-watt station, and it came in better. And I got the Real Talk, and it's going to make such a difference.
Now you're going to be able to start and just tape me, and it'll be solid as a rock.
I'm a big fan of the Sea Crane Company. In fact, they have my Real Talk right now, and they're trying to get me an outside antenna hookup so that I can get you better on either of those two stations. I don't even need that anymore.
They can do
wonderful.
it. Believe me, they can do it.
Yeah, they're doing it. They're great people.
Anyway, have you a question for David?
I wanted to tell him that it's a fascinating program, and yes, I was listening on Friday when you were talking about everything happening out in Seattle, and it's pretty scary stuff. That's basically, the only comment I can make. It's pretty scary stuff because I know they don't tell us everything, and I believe the government does hold back on a lot of stuff. But if they did tell us everything, where would we be anyway? So it's up to you to get it out.
All right, thank you very much. That's, I guess, what we're doing. I vacillate a little bit, David. On the one hand, this area, I get people emailing me, Art, why don't you lead a 1,000,000-man march and go crash the gates at Area 51?
Really?
This kind of stuff. And I've got a lot of respect for our government, even as cynical as I may have become. We have a right, a duty, maybe even an obligation to keep some secrets. We develop aircraft. The Stealth 117 came out of that area. And a lot of other things that I probably don't even know about and probably don't want to know about. So I vacillate. I mean, there should be openness on the one hand. The Cold War is over, maybe, and it's time to tell. But then on the other hand, the Cold War really isn't over.
Right, and you got the industrial espionage on the other side, where in order for us to keep our competitive edge planet-wide, there are some things we just cannot let out. And the industrial military complex triad is so tight, it's hard to unravel one side without undoing the other.
If you had irrefutable, absolute evidence in your hand, how long would you think before you released it?
You mean evidence of extraterrestrial life?
Sure. Evidence that our government for some time has been in collusion with this life in one way or the other, that we have technology from it, the whole thing.
Right. If I was working within the government?
No, just right now. David Adair.
Oh, me? If I had it?
Yep.
I'll tell you tomorrow.
Well,
because
actually, you told me today, but I mean, if you really had the hard evidence.
I would, because there is a certain technology or certain knowledge that is intrinsic throughout all of society. People have the right to know this. The fact that you've made contact with an alien life form of another planet, intelligent life, you do not have that right to hold that information. It is wrong because it affects every single person on the planet. Therefore, they should know about it. Good or bad, whatever, we'll experience it together. But it's a universal thing that involves everyone. If it was a smaller piece of information where it's like it's a patentable thing or something we can make a project or a widget with, that's a different story. But when you hit something as major Earth-related human being across the board, it affects everybody. You don't have that right to hold that information. I told them that in area, Groom Lake. I told them, I said, you guys don't have the right to hold this back.
What did they say?
It's a matter of national security. And I went, you still don't have that right.
Here's a question from Roger. David recounted that when he looked more deeply inside of the engine and around it, he saw some incredible things that confirmed his suspicions that there was no way it could be of terrestrial origin. Would you elaborate a bit on what you might have seen that said that to you, aside from the engine?
That's a sharp listener out there. He's got his ears up.
Yep.
There's some things that, some devices and other things. This engine was not dead. It was not just a piece of metal. This thing it was alive. It was still alive. And there's just stuff I can't go into, but there's just things. And, I'll throw another piece of thought out there. Don't assume that they just recently acquired this thing. It could have been millions of years old, and they could have dug it up. That's an assumption we're making. I never did. I don't know how old it is. I don't know its point of origin. I don't know who made it. I know it's not from a technological database, anything of that time period.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't ours, wasn't theirs, being the Soviets, but I knew that it was not from our technological base.
Seeing all that you saw had to have changed your life forever.
Yeah, it's difficult. It's like I can appreciate Vietnam soldiers living with delayed action syndrome. It's something that really eats on you every day, and you just have to deal with it. Fortunately, my profile in the Navy, I was born with really good compartmentalization.
Are you not worried that one of these days, there's going to be a knock on your door and a couple guys in suits there, and they're going to say, Mr. Adair, come with us?
Well, if that time comes, I'll just have to deal with it. The whole thing about all of this is like if we live in paranoia and give into it, we'll feed that energy, and you will become a prisoner of it. The worst that they can do is kill this body of mine. They're not going to take my free spirit or my free choice, and they can throw me in prison. They can do what they want to me. But by God, they can't. Some things they can't pull out of me. So, I've had this done to me since I was a kid. What else can they do? They can come and get me or whatever. But once again, that's the paranoia thing. I've never caught any negativism from the government about any of this. As a matter of fact, even the Senate and Congress exonerated me. So the reason why, they know it's a true story. I think what it is, I've still got a gut feeling they're trying to find a way out. They're looking for anybody that can help.
All right. Let's go back to it and say good morning east to the Rockies. You're on the air with Art Bell and David Adair. Hello. Oh,
Hello,
there.
hi.
Now you're on the air. I'm sorry.
Yes, hi.
Hi.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I hear you quite well. Thank you. Where are you?
Hi, my name is Scott, and I'm calling from the Bronx, New York.
All right, Scott.
Nice to be on with you. And I can tell you, I've heard you for the last 3 hours, and I think you're great. And I'm going to call the station tomorrow, and I think they should put you on Saturday night. They have dead air from about midnight to 6 in the morning.
Dead air?
And I think they should really put they should put tapes of, I don't know if you have reruns, maybe you could give them.
Oh, we are on Saturday and Sunday. They have dead air?
Oh, they're going to play you on Saturday and Sunday?
Well, no, I don't know that, but I know I'm better than dead air.
They have dead air from about midnight on Saturday night to 6 in the morning.
I'm at least better than dead air.
Oh, you're better than everything on this station.
Well, anyway, sir.
In fact, I can tell you, I'm in the radio business, and I can tell you, you're going to get a call in.
First-time callers, area 702-727-1222.
I hope you're not going to let them, because.
No. Look, do me a favor.
Yes.
Stop before you get me eliminated.
Oh, don't worry.
Listen, do you have a question for Dave? Call the wild card lines, area 702-727-1295.
Yes, sir.
Yes. Can I ask you, what is the? Someone brought this up before. What do you think of the whole gays in the military thing?
Gays in the military. All right.
Okay. Well,
All right. Well, go ahead and answer. You were in the military for how many years?
10 years.
10 years.
Hey, like if they keep it contained to themselves, it's their personal preference, and they don't interfere with me or any of my thought processes during my normal course of daily life and living, that is their business.
You know, it's my attitude as well.